Good morning. Welcome to my channel. My name is Pat Winter for those of you who are new, and I wanted to thank all of you who join in and watch my videos of my journals. And today I have a new video, which is purple, and this morning I finally settled on a name. So her name is Flora, which means flower, and the Roman goddess of spring. So Flora has a hardcover, which I covered with a pretty embroidered silk fabric left over from my crazy quilting days, and doilies that have been dyed and just kind of clustered with a little vintage shoe button on the spine. And on the front, I printed out this beautiful image, which is Lavender Mae. It's from the Lavender Mae kit from Raindrop Lila. And a lot of the papers in here are from that kit, but I just thought she was so pretty, I wanted her on the cover. And I just put an applique cut out from some lace and added a few little rhinestones and some vintage lace and just a sheer organza, purple organza for her dress, and just a couple little accents here and there, and some vintage lace around the edge. And you can find this kit at Raindrop Lila on Etsy, and the name of it is Lavender Mae. So let's open her and see what's inside. The clasp is just a bracelet clasp. Between the hardcover and the piece that I collaged is a little pocket, and I just slipped in a journaling card that you can write on the back. And she's lined with an embroidered linen, which I received from a friend. And I just made a large pocket in the front and the back to slip in just some large pieces of paper. I loved this paper, so I thought it would make a nice little paper to journal on, a nice large sheet. Okay, so in the first page, I just have an envelope with some journaling cards inside. With some various journaling cards. And although many of the pages in here are from Raindrop Lila, I love to browse Etsy and find just digitals from various digital artists. So some of them that I've included in here are Sampool Chapter 1 papers, Paper Daisy Journals, Nostalgic Greetings, Screech Owl, Mary Licks, My Porch Prints, Odalcina, and Greenwich Designs. But there's also a few more, but there's bits and pieces. So if you see something you want to know what the source is, you can just leave me a message under the video, and I will get back to you. So I just did a little flip with some vellum, printed some lavender bottles and with lavender sprigs, and then I cut out this digital of a vintage photo album and just slipped in a little vintage girl and added some old crocheted lace that was already purple, and I made the little boho bead dangle. And under here is just a pocket with a couple of journaling cards. And again, most of the journaling cards I back and I sew around them just to make them nice and sturdy. And some are just printed. I kind of made this a little, tore some things and kind of aged it a little bit. And I have page tabs or dangles and lace on all of the pages, because I like something that you can grab and turn. It's just easier. So I use this little basket fussy cut for a journaling card. And here I used some of the paste, which I actually just use the spackle, the lightweight, because it dries really fast, and then you could leave it white, or you can, I used Distress Oxide just to kind of touch it. And another little dangle with some purple beads. And again, my favorite little packet of letters as a pocket or a tuck spot with a couple of journaling tags. Oops. And I know this one is from My Porch Prints. And then these are just blank. And here's a little pocket with a couple more. And this little music note paper is a little tuck spot that you could journal on the back. And here's Lavender Mae again, or for this journal, it's Flora. And I use the vintage photo tabs, the corners, so you can remove, I've put a couple in here so you can remove the paper and you can journal on the back. Oh, and I did a little embossing that I just saw on Odosina's site. I thought that was a really cute idea to just emboss bits and pieces of an image. So I did that on a couple places throughout the book. And here's a pretty card from My Porch Prints. And just put a little cheesecloth and collaged it a little bit. And this just has some dyed papers, just some scrap papers to jot a few notes or dates or something. And another journaling card. And some pretty lace. And a dangle with a little satin flower and some rhinestone chain, which that needs to be squished down. And this pocket is a few saved birthday greetings from Flora's friends through the years. And this is the menu from a birthday dinner, which are all journaling cards. They're printed on the other side with just a very subtle print image, so you can journal on them. And here's a couple small ones. They're just tucked into that tab. And here's another piece that's a card that's been embossed just lightly on that corner. And you can journal on the back. And that's just tucked into a fussy cut bunch of lilacs. And these are sketches from her flower garden, because she loves gardening. And she loves purple. And here's some lace. It's not old, maybe 20 years old, but it's a newer lace, machine made. And it was like an inexpensive, you know, the newer laces like you can get at Joann's and Hobby Lobby, and it's not vintage, so it doesn't accept dyes. So I just used some different acrylic paints that you would use for crafts, and I added a little bit of the fabric medium so it stays, and you just put it in with water, and you can color any lace. You don't have to leave it white. Synthetic, that's what I'm trying to think. It's a synthetic lace. It's not cotton or silk or rayon, which is all natural fibers, which dye really well. So this is another journaling card. I just added a little safety pin with some sari silk and a little flower and some vintage lace, and tucked it in this little cloche. And in between these two pages are 2 journaling cards. I believe these are my porch prints, one of her purple kits. And they just tuck down inside here. And here is another cutout of a vintage photo album with the little girls. And this is one of Uniquely Ella's collaged page tabs that fit the length of the page, which I love making. So, and this is actually a little, oh no, it's not. I thought that was the tuck. So anyway, it has a little dangle, some vintage lace, and a vintage sequin puff. And on this side, I've just tucked in a journaling card and a little seed packet, which has the image Screech Owl. Oh, it's another one. You know, I said Screech. She made a kit using a lot of my crazy quilting images. I believe it was last year or the year before. And so it's a purple kit, mainly purple and light blues, but it has my actual crazy quilting images on it, which kind of adds a nice little extra detail. So anyway, I turned that into a seed packet. And she does have that in her Etsy shop. It's Screech Owl, if anyone's interested. Here's a little purse dangle with some vintage crocheted lace. And this is one of those chipboard. I have a packet of them from Stamperia or Stamperia. I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's what they're kind of sprinkled throughout the book, the journal. And this is just a journaling card with crazy quilting design, embroidery stitches, silk ribbon embroidery. I like to kind of mesh the crazy quilting stuff into my journals because I crazy quilted for so many years that it's just part of me now. So here's some journaling cards tucked in this pocket and some more lavender seed packets that you can actually use. You can get a little glassine bag and drop some seeds in it and give it to a friend. And this is a little, oh, I didn't mention, oh dear, oh my goodness. Oh, I will write it underneath the video. I cannot think of the name, but this is a slide that I put the acetate in on both sides, and I just put a little journaling card in there, and a couple of large ones that I turned it into a tuck. And then this goes in between. So you can put a special date in there or something. Pixie dust. Anyway, I'll put it underneath. I'm so bad at that. I really need to make notes. And this is a fabric hidden paper clip that I just decorated with some vintage lace and little velvet flower and tucked in a journaling card. I tried to leave a lot of blank pages for journaling, and some more lace doubled with a trim, a hand-dyed trim. And this is just a little applique that could be used somewhere. I just dangled it off the edge of the lace. And this is an envelope pocket that I no, I didn't. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I made this. Can't think anymore. A journaling card and a collaged card with I just stapled a little tab on there. So it goes in there, and then the pocket, this little lace pocket, is from Boho Daydreams. She sells beautiful Indian fabric bits and trims and boho beads, bead dangles, beautiful bead dangles. And you can find her on Instagram and YouTube, Boho Daydreams. And this is some more of the medium, or the raised, and a journaling card. And this is another of the 4 vintage photo corners that you can take out the photo and write behind it and write on the actual page. More blank pages. And here's another collaged card and another pretty garden journaling card. And that's a little key and a drop bead with a piece of vintage lace and a tiny little clip. I believe it's Tim Holtz. And Flora loved old homes, and she loved decorating, and she collected the homes that she had lived in all her life, throughout her life. And this just tucks down in another one of the pixie dust photo slides, which has a couple of the Stamperia little tags that tuck in here. And this is just an old rusty paper clip, and it has some fabrics that Flora had designed one of her homes with, kind of the gray, dusty gray plum colors. And another pocket with a couple of journaling cards. And a butterfly or moth, and I put a couple of vintage flower stamens for the antenna, and just added a nice journaling card under each wing. And here's a little beaded dangle. And on this side is under this lace is a place for journaling cards, and then under this velvet band with the mother of pearl buckle is another journaling card. So it's a double duty belly band. Plenty of space, and I made this with the acrylic beads. It's just a little flower dangle. And this is Stamperia chipboard piece, and I just tucked in a butterfly. And a little belly band with another collaged card, and I just tucked in a little fussy cut that could be used somewhere. and added lace here and there. Well, I'll do that later. And here's another 4-cornered photo corners. And this is just a little tablet of more homes that Flora loved. And a little card, journaling card with the little vintage family by an old car. It goes in like that. And a little shoe. And a little tuck spot of lavender. I folded this and tried to make it look like an old letter, so it might look like it's an accidentally bent page, but I did that. So anyway, this is a paper dyed doily, a piece of vintage paper doily, and just a little saying, which is a tuck spot for a couple of cards. And this one has a little tag in it. And this has a belly band with a couple of journaling cards. And a vintage book page from a poetry book. And another of Uniquely Ella's collage page tabs that I used as a tuck spot on both sides. And then I put this little fussy cut, and I use that as a tuck spot as well. And this is also from the Pixie Dust Etsy shop. I think there's another word, but I will link it below. And it just has a journaling card under it. And some more pages to journal on. And this is a belly band that I added a piece of embroidered ribbon to for these little fussy cuts, florals. And then behind is a pretty page that I just used as a journaling paper. And some more lace. And another pocket with a couple journaling cards. And a journaling card and a piece of vellum with a wreath, heather wreath, tucked behind a fussy cut. And another pocket that I just did a blanket stitch and put a little bit of embroidered trim and put another journaling card. And this is the back that I just tucked in a couple sheets of pretty paper. And that is it. That is Flora. And I believe the next project is going to be aqua, so I'm looking forward to that. So I will see you next time, and thank you for watching my video.